And we are live. Welcome to another episode of Off Centered with my friends Neo Cards and Comics and Flippin' JW Steve.
JW?
Pump Dump Steve.
P and D. Flippin' PD Steve.
Oh man.
What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
I have my annual opening question. Have you guys booked accommodations for the National yet?
Ah, damn. Oh, wait, no, but we have something in the works, don't we, Steve? Oh, Steve froze.
Well, here's the thing. This is a development that just happened probably 30 minutes ago. This is why I was
I didn't even know about this.
No, it's not good news. Trust me.
What?
As of right now, I will not be at the National.
What?
So I know exactly what happened.
And
he took that money that we all put in through the charity. He went to Aruba, and now he's not going. He's bailing out. He's quitting on us.
No, I put in my vacation requests a couple weeks ago, and I got an email today that my last week of July request got denied.
Aren't you like the boss?
Well, there's a couple of us, and one of them is already taken off. So it's kind of like both bosses off. I answer to two people in the casino. I answer to the director, and I answer to the CEO.
And the mob.
Well, you might have to have Donald Trump might have to come work the casino that week that you work at.
It's like there's two people above me, and unfortunately, one of them says that they cannot afford me to have me off the casino floor when the other manager is not there as well. So it's still 5 months away. Hopefully, something changes. And that's why I received that email. Then I was making a phone call, and I was on the phone call up until the time that we started this live stream, trying to see what other options we had and things like that. And with it being 5 months away, things can change. So I'm not so I'm not too down about it. I'm not too super down about it yet because I'm going to be optimistic about it. But as of right now, I couldn't go today and buy a plane ticket and get accommodations because I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to use them.
Yeah.
So why, you knew the date. Why didn't you put the time off request in a long time ago?
I've put it in 5 months ahead.
Well, clearly that wasn't early enough.
If you put it in much earlier, they're not going to be able to answer you either because nobody knows what's going to be. And 5 months is a long ways away.
Time to start taking calls from the rival casino, Steve.
So you got to get we have to get the other guy fired or girl and then replaced by the time the National comes around.
Or hire somebody else.
I mean, that sounds way easier, does mine sounds more dramatic.
I have no idea what our staffing will look like in 5 months. All I can say that as of today, if the National was next week, I wouldn't be going.
So is it possible that you could come for Wednesday, Thursday, and then go back to work for, I don't know what your work schedule is, but
there could be possibilities. Where I could come in there for
a day or two and then
1 or 2 days. But my main concern is the giveaway. My main concern is being there for the giveaway winner, which we haven't done yet, and being able to be there so that they can win the prize, even if that means I have to come in for a day and leave. Right now, my main concern is not me. I'm not like, oh my God, I got to miss the National. Oh, woe is me. I'm going to cry. But I'm into panic because I have to try to figure out how I'm going to do the giveaway now. This is how something like beneficial and good and doing something that's good can sometimes backfire in your face. But I'm just hoping that it'll work out. That's all I can do.
Well, that's just send all the money
out.
You could just send all the money, and then we can if there's random things like the case or whatever, we can figure that out on site.
I can do all the things.
Are going to be there.
I can do all the things like book the accommodations and have all that stuff set up. The thing is that usually when I book the accommodations, I book them in my name, and I have to be there for the person to actually get the room, even if I put their name on it. They want my information to charge it to, right? Because I don't want them to charge it. I don't want to do a giveaway to somebody and then them get charged for it.
Because there's ways you can work around that.
Because the hotel is give me your credit card and things like that.
No problem.
Well, I'm sure we'll figure something out. Like I said, this just got dropped on me 30 minutes ago. So right now it's just a brainstorming, whirling in my head. Is this for real? Am I going to be able to finagle something? Am I going to be able to make it work? Typically, I'm good at making things work. Sometimes it's out of my hands, though.
You just send them. I say whoever the winner is, you just send them the money. They book it themselves. You could do it like that too, like for the hotel.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I just, and they could just take the money and run.
But I guess the problem
that would be their decision, I guess.
The problem though is if because we announced the winner leading up to the thing, and then if they have to go book it,
try to find something last minute to
then
stay.
They won't be able to book it. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Something.
Man, my little innocent, fun, joking question I've been asking for 6 months straight took a dark turn this week.
Well, no, and I didn't even have time to tell you guys, but I knew that it would come up, and I knew that I was going to drop it on you guys unprepared. It was dropped on me kind of unprepared, but
I got to get with Hambone then, and we got to work some. I still want to do the off-site thing that we were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of what is it, like a Airbnb or something like that? Sounded pretty good.
The thing that also stinks for me right now is I've really been going hard on inventory planning for the National. Can I still move those cards within the same timeline? Yeah, but it's just fun. A lot of the cards that I buy in are fun cards because I know they will draw attention at trade nights and I'll be able to make deals.
Yeah. I've been going out of my way to buy prospect stuff for that reason because that was going to be fun with you.
So can I take those cards that I've been buying and put them on the timeline of July, prior to the NFL season and still probably profit off of it? I probably could, but it takes away from the whole, oh man, I'm getting these cards because I know at the National it's going to be, they'll draw attention.
If you miss out on the like say that we, you can't make it to the National, we figure out the giveaway stuff. Would you look at maybe like trying to get to a Dallas show or one of the other bigger shows, like in the end of the summer?
September Culture Collision.
I didn't know if maybe because there's usually a Dallas show a couple weeks before the National. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I mean, go to that.
Dallas would be cool. It's probably, I guess Dallas is still a better show than Culture Collision or bigger than Culture Collision, I'm going to guess, but Culture Collision has grown and I like the setup of it.
I've never been to Dallas, but Dallas still feels like
I've had 2 really good experiences at Culture Collision, so I guess that's kind of unfair to compare it to anything else. I could go to for a third time and it'd just be overkill. So Dallas could make sense.
The thing that I know this sounds lame, but the thing that always gets me to Dallas is Allen, Texas is like 45 minutes from the airport. And I don't know why that just seems inconvenient, but when you go to Chicago for the National and you literally just roll in and your hotel's across the street, that 40-minute, commute in, it just feels like a long time. I know that's probably lame, but that's
the one thing. Cleveland National, the IX Center is literally at the end of the airport runway. And you land and you're right there. You can walk across the
it's just a bummer. Even if I was able to do the giveaway, or I'll make the giveaway work somehow. Even the giveaway will work. It'll happen even if I can't be on site. But the interactions that I get to have with the winners is always awesome. Like Mark last year was awesome. Like it's a highlight of the trip. Like he wasn't around like all the time, but when he was around, it was like super cool. And
Mark's the perfect winner. Because he's great.
Fuchs,
I was hoping there was a few.
Fuchs was great the year before.
Yeah, Fuchs was great, but sometimes there's some of my trolls are like finalists in that thing, and I'm like, please let me not have to hang out.
Are they? They might be your trolls, but they're not mine.
Well, yeah, you don't have any trolls, Steve.
This is off topic. Is Fuchs still alive? I haven't seen him in a live chat forever.
I messaged Fuchs on Instagram the other day because I looked at the last time we messaged and it has been months. And I just was like, hey, man, I just wonder what you've been up to. Just checking in to make sure and see everything's okay. Just like give me a thumbs up if you're fine. You don't have to give me any personal information, but just give me a thumbs up if you're okay. And I don't even think I got a response. So I don't know if he's just not on social medias or what. Maybe he's under another account in the chat and hiding out on us.
I just got an offer on ComC for a Sam Darnold card. Let me accept this real quick.
Sam Darnold, they're talking about him. He might go to the Vikings.
All of a sudden, I've got Sam Darnold offers. Okay.
So,
all right, go ahead.
Steve, what is the? I don't want to. You don't have to give everything away here, but and I know that you've had this curveball right before this, but what is the timeline for the National giveaway? Have you put some loose thought on this?
I usually like to do it at least a month before the giveaway to give people enough time to take off work and to get planned. The accommodations and everything on my end are already always taken care of. Like usually by March, like last year by March, I had already booked the extra room, and everything. I had all the accommodations and everything done and set up. I do that prior to getting a winner, to make sure that when I do get a winner, that there's the stuff is there. I don't want to draw a winner and they're like, oh my God, now I can't even line up their prizes.
We
I had already
definitely cannot do an Airbnb with like the winner, not knowing who that's going to be, and then some like randos there and you're not there, and that could be a disaster. So let's talk before you make any commitments there.
So yeah, but I don't want to focus the entire live stream around that. So
in other
it is what it is. Like I can't let it engulf me until for the next 5 months either.
My cat died today too. So let's seg into that. I'm just kidding.
Did it really?
I don't have a cat. Turtles. What?
Because mine died the day I got back from Atlanta.
Oh Lord, I was joking, Steve.
Remember? No, mine was
you don't remember
real.
that? Jeez, way too soon for that joke.
Sorry, my parrot died. There we go.
Gosh.
Dream hasn't even started yet.
My dog killed a bird.
Already behind. Lucas Factor. What is going on? Zach Pierce.
It's a disaster for me tonight. The Cavs aren't even playing, so I have to actually pay attention.
Oh man, I better pay attention. I'm all over eBay and stuff, man. I've been
busy too.
Fairly heavy.
Busy too. Brendan
Ryan.
Ryan.
Why don't you buy a week off in late July?
Bizarre.
Did you actually move a Sam Darnold card, or was that a joke?
No, I swear I got an offer right just a second ago.
I'm feeling like right now with all the rumors going around that it's time to just list them and see if people impulse buy, because I saw the post where it said the Vikings are, it seems strongly interested in Sam Darnold. So I know that doesn't mean anything. I know that doesn't mean that he's going to be good, but it's his name in the news. And I talk about that in a video that uploads tomorrow. Not Sam Darnold.
You have been cranking it out, man.
Look at this.
Can we talk about this? Like, you're like a real content creator.
Look at this. You did. Speaking of not thinking somebody was dead, you didn't make a video for like 6 months, and all of a sudden you're like, "I'm back." Hold on,
That's
TV.
Because I was filming. That's because I was filming 6 months worth of videos to drop at the same time.
Yeah, you just been on fire lately.
Well, look, I have 2 videos done. Like I'm gonna, but I don't want to put them out every day. So I have a video going up tomorrow, and then the video for Friday is already done.
Sheesh.
So I have 2 videos done, but tomorrow I'll probably start filming the video for Sunday, because I'm going to put out videos like every other day at the most. I'm not going to do it every day. That might become every 3rd day. The problem is I'm doing so much right now. like I've always said, I base my content around what I'm doing. And sometimes I'm doing a lot. Sometimes I'm not doing that much. I'm doing so much right now that if I want to do content on everything that I'm doing, all the deals that I'm making and stuff like that, then I have to put out content quickly, or it's just going to all pile up.
When's the VeriSwap sponsorship start?
I don't want it. That platform. Yeah, you'll see. Well, no, Friday's video, I do a little discussion on VeriSwap about.
Heated Steve's coming out.
It's not sponsored by I don't run it down. I mean, I even said in my last video, I said in my last video, the best thing to use it for is to see what's trending, see what people want. But it's not like you're actually going to pull a lot of deals on there. I have 3 completed deals, and I have at least 25 failed deals. So you do the math on that and be like, what's the ratio? Is it worth it? But I will tell you that this is how stuff works. But this is not what you see in vlogs. You see the deals that work.
Ooh, that sounded like a veiled shot across the water.
It's not a shot when it's the truth. Like a shot is something when you're just making shit up.
You need to truth bombs.
You need to follow it with a woo. Damn, I watched a Ric Flair documentary earlier, and Steve sounded like Ric Flair. Hold on. John Reckoning made a video about Steve acting like he was Steve. I want to shout out John Reckoning. Earlier, I watched the first 15 minutes of it. One thing that he did say was that he was talking with you about Baker Mayfield, I think like a green rookie card. John, if you're watching, I know you're blocked on my channel because you made videos about how I was going to like turn into a zombie or something. So I did block you, but hopefully you do see this through Steve's channel. I have picked up a few Baker Mayfields. Steve got on to me for getting a die cut. He doesn't like the die cut.
Well, it's a nice card. I think it's a nice card, but I
just like the die cuts.
I just find it harder to use die cuts. That's all.
This is like nostalgia from 2020, going back into Baker Mayfield. You got to love some of the Baker Mayfield stuff. All right. So I did not, but to answer him, I did not get the idea from Steve, but we both have picked up some Baker Mayfield stuff.
Well, I tried and really quickly to touch on the green prism that he was talking about. It was a super nice card. I put in a bid and I fell asleep, and then I got outbid, and the card went pretty low, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't have continued to get run up. So I could look at it and be like, damn, I missed it for that price. The one I was even more so mad about, I put in a video, I missed an optic orange on card auto out of 25. That card it checked every box for a card, even if you don't like Baker Mayfield. It was orange color match, it was on card auto, and it was numbered out of 25. And it was clean raw, which means grading potential. And I was just, I missed the auction. I didn't like to talk about it. That's probably the auction I'm most upset about missing over the last 2 weeks. Missed an auction today, though. Upset me for a different reason. It was a card I wanted to buy for a gift, but I lost. So the gift I wanted to send to somebody, I'm not going to be able to do. I try to find another copy.
Neo Perk is talking about Crown for accommodations. Like, I guess the Crown, is that a hotel? He's asking if he's going to pay a ton of money for Uber.
I don't know where it's at off the top of my head. So,
okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
Perk, throw out wherever the Crown is. I assume that's a hotel in Cleveland.
Downtown. If you're staying downtown, that's going to be a fortune in Ubers.
May as well just rent a car at that point. Book refundable tickets. You can get a refund if they're not able. Oh, if you're not able to go. Okay.
Steve's a little spicy tonight. This maybe not national stuff's got him a little turned up.
No, but I'm actually bummed. Like I'm like deflated. I'm deflated about it right now. No, here's the thing. I'm like I said, I'm like knee deep, neck deep in the dealing and the trading and the buying and the selling right now. Like I haven't been this involved in the past year.
I know we've been talking trash about pickups. Like, right. I'll pick something up and Steve's like, man, what a babba dabba dabba. And then Steve picks something up and sends a picture. I'm like, yeah, wrong uniform. Like we've been talking smack to each other for 2 weeks.
And even a year to the date when I was buying, Jared Goff and Jordan Love and things like that, this time last year, I wasn't doing it as much as I was now. I did spend $1,000 on Sam Darnold, but that was like a ton of cards. I got a ton of cards of Sam Darnold for $1,000, man. You talk about being able to buy a lot for $1,000. That's one name you were able to buy a lot of.
Yeah, supposedly Neo's wife said that we could stay there, but Neo is saying that never happened. So that's where we're at, Ham. That's where we're at.
Oh, well, Dustin, you showed a card or two. I can show a couple recent pickups.
Yeah.
Some of these will be in upcoming videos. Like I said, I don't know if you heard when I was away, Dustin, or you were away. I actually have 2 videos ready to go. So Wednesday and Friday, I'm staggering them out. And I'll be shooting one tomorrow, probably for Sunday. It's just kind of like I can't keep up with myself, honestly. But
look at you just going to daily. Now you're daily.
No, because if I put out videos daily, people won't have time to watch them all. Like the next video will come out before they get caught up on the most previous video.
They kind of cannibalize each other, but
people will get tired of me, man. They just will. They'll be like, man,
they haven't got tired of me and Dustin yet. Well, maybe they have. They just don't tell me.
You guys just aren't being honest with yourself.
No, they definitely tell me.
Oh,
no, they definitely tell me they're getting tired of it. I just keep going.
This just came in from Instagram. This is a tie-dye Tyler Murray BGS 10.
Kyler, you and that Kyler Murray
guy out of 25.
Have you ever gotten heavier on one player? I don't know if I remember. Have you ever gone heavier on one player?
Probably.
Who? I've never. You're like a Kyler Murray machine.
Probably. This was just a good price, man. Like I'm not overextending. I'm not reaching and being like, hey, I'm going to pay absurd amount.
Oh, I know. I know that. I know.
It might be a lot of cards, but it's good value that I have here. This one is more risky. I showed you guys this. This has been on Instagram too. That's the Justin Fields Cosmic PSA 10. So that's a more of a risky card, but I mean, this is like the kind of card that can really like move if there's some hype. So, and I know that people out there in Cleveland, like Neo, be loving them Ohio State boys out there.
If you guys had to guess, how many cards are in your collection, including PC at any given time? So the difference between Steve and me and Neo, I can say this fairly confidently, is Steve's PC is always available, always. And that's not a knock. That's not a knock on you, Steve. But even like with your maze rookie, if you have an opportunity to get up into a better maze, then you'll do that. So I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but whereas like I think Rob and I probably sit on some stuff. Steve has always got stuff available. That's not an insult. It's just
like you said, my Maze or my Jackie Robinson. Would I move those out? Yeah, nothing in the box is really off limits unless I feel like I can't replace it. Like Neo says, I gotta let you buy them back. But I can find Willie Mays rookie cards and Jackie Robinson Bowmans. But some of the cards like the Stephen King card, I can't find that. The Dale Earnhardt card, I can't find that. Those aren't really for sale. And you saw that at Atlanta. Somebody wanted some of the stuff that I feel like I could replace, I moved, but the Stephen King and then the Dale Earnhardt that a lot of people asked a lot about, I just was hey, those are just kind of like out for you.
I got one of Steve's PC cards right here.
Yeah, Steve PC's cash. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Ray. I love the die cut, especially 2018 in particular. I love 2018 Prism. The design.
I got a die cut.
I have a question for you guys then. What's the last?
I got a die cut.
Oh, is that the last card you got for your collection?
There you go.
I just got this on Sunday.
That's nice. That's nice.
What's the last one you got for your collection?
You talking to me?
Well, Neo already answered, man.
Oh well, Lord, I've actually been.
Steve's spicy tonight, man.
I know Steve came out firing. I've actually been in flipping Steve mode. I've been buying Bowman U quarterbacks for the last week. I just spent like all my money on it. I just took a second mortgage out.
That's not flipping Steve mode.
Yeah, that's SCV mode.
Yeah, you got me confused with somebody else.
All right, maybe I didn't take a loan out, but I can't get enough of that stuff. It's inexpensive. It's fun. I'm gonna see where it goes. I did just bid on a card, or I offered on a card. We'll see if throughout the night if I get any sort of response, but I'll let you know if I get it. There's actually a pretty huge card that I'm watching that ends in a couple days too. We'll see. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag on that. Steve, what cards are you targeting to roast Dustin and Rob on? Actually, the good news for Rob and me is if Steve doesn't go, we don't lose money on a card. Buying a card from Steve at the national.
Yeah. Every national I've got.
Well, we learned our lesson.
Steve's wallet.
This last national, we didn't buy anything. We learned.
No, I did. I bought a Game of Thrones dual auto off of him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you get hosed or was it a good price?
Of course I did. It's
double dual auto. He's full of it.
Oh man! After you paid, you realized your wallet.
A friend with a card is like only charging him one.
After you paid, you realized your wallet was gone, and Steve just ran away.
Look, you guys! I put out a video yesterday, and the title was "Don't Get Cooked." Look, I'm here to prevent you guys, to help prevent you guys.
And why do you come to the national with a frying pan and a spatula?
Because I know y'all meat about to go into pan.
Throwing heaters.
The best thing, I'll be super sad if Steve can't get to the national, but I just saved myself like $500 on whatever card he was going to sell me.
Yeah, me and Neo paid for Steve's hot tub out back.
I'd be selling you guys high quality cards. I can't I can't dictate the market.
I got a Baker Mayfield flawless. I'll sell you back.
You begged me to sell you that Baker Mayfield. There was people lined up to buy that, and I actually was like shunning them away because Neo was standing there about to cry because I was going to get rid of it to somebody else. That's a true story. That's why he can laugh at it, because that's so true. I can even name like three people, and he was there watching me like, everybody come up. What for the Baker? What do you want for the Baker? What do you want for? And I kept trying to push him on a Kyler Murray, remember, a Sam Darnold flawless, a Kyler Murray optic contenders. I was like, what do you think about these guys?
The best part is people thought we were pumping and dumping. When we said Baker Mayfield was hot at the national, they thought we were pumping and dumping him. Baker Mayfield was so hot at that national.
Yeah, it was. And then you were just like tired of like being scared that I was about to deal it to somebody else because you were.
I literally handed you.
You were just like, all right, how much? Let's just make the deal right now.
I literally handed Steve an envelope of money and I said, you just take what you want and just give me back whatever you think is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve is a sorcerer. He'll get you like that. He's a sorcerer. Yeah. He casts spells on you.
We were on the way home. I was driving home and I wanted a Mountain Dew and I had to ask my wife to buy it. And she's like, well, where's all your money at? And I was like, Steve got it all. I didn't even have 50 cents to my name on the way back from that national.
I think Ray is saying here that we need more sales ads. And Ray, stay tuned, my friend. We will keep working harder. We will get more for you. Stay tuned. Crown Plaza, same chain as Chicago. It's down near Progressive.
Yeah, I think that's like probably 15, 20-minute drive with no traffic. I would just look up to see what an Uber costs. Like you could check, like just act like you want to book an Uber like right now from there to the IX Center and see what it pops up as. And then do the math twice a day for however many days you're going to be there. It might be cheaper to rent a car. I don't know. Maybe not.
I completely disagree with Johnny.
I think if you
Cage's
rent a car, you
take
have to pay
coming
for
up
parking.
here.
Hold on real quick. We'll get to Johnny Cage. Going heavy on
Cage.
Shedeur Sanders. Lucas, I'm basically going in on everyone except for him because a lot of people are zeroed in on Sanders right now for good reason. Could be the number one pick, but I'm basically going on all the other QBs right now that are quite a bit cheaper from that next draft class. Don't want to hurt Steve's feelings, but the Cardinals are going to be bad for a long time, plus Kyler Murray. But Johnny, you don't understand. He's just going to play the before the season game. He's not holding that thing into the season. He's not holding any of it into the season.
All you need for them is to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and then you sell.
That's what I'm saying. They have a good draft pick. The Cardinals were a good team this year. They lost a lot of teams close. They lost a lot of games close, and they beat some good teams. They whooped the Eagles down the stretch. And Kyler Murray actually saw a 20% boost when he returned from his injury. After that first game, when he actually was showed that he could still move the way that he used to and was running and things like that. He saw a boost mid-season last year just because of that. And I can tell you right now at the prices that I'm in on, I'm already getting offers on my cards for Kyler Murray. I had somebody, another viewer message me on IG today, and they were talking about, man, Kyler is getting hot in the market. And I was like, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention because I've been buying and I've been putting up on Veriswap. But I can tell you, and you see in my videos, I'm getting a lot of interest in my Kyler Murrays on Veriswap. A lot. You may say that that's not cash. That might be trade value. But if I can trade Kyler Murray for a high liquidity card, it's as good as cash. If I can trade a Kyler Murray contenders that I paid $500 or I paid one on PWCC $300 for, if I can trade that for a $500 or $600 Brady or Kobe or Mahomes, that's as good as cash. I'm still upping myself $300. That's the play. If I don't feel like people are going to willing to buy this stuff, I can see the interest already. Like I get notifications. I have 9 trades waiting for me on Veriswap, and I cleared my trade database out today around 5 p.m. So, and it's all, a lot of people are interested in the Kyler Murray stuff.
Well, there you go.
Well, you have to find a quarterback that's not already really expensive, that people know has talent, has shown that they can play. It's really hard to find those guys.
I don't know. There's a few of them out there.
Is that Derek Carr?
You know it, brother. He's got a new offensive coordinator coming from San Francisco. We're running all the motion next year.
All right.
Woo! Woo! All right.
Derek, well, I know what to bring to the National.
I'm locked and loaded. I'm going to laugh so damn hard when Derek Carr's hot at the National. I'm going to laugh so hard. All right. Will Joakim Noah be signing at the Cleveland National? I do not know that.
I don't know
who he hates Cleveland. That's a dig at Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Steve should buy.
I would make a deal with Neo for one of his Jim Brown's trade, or if the cash price is right.
50% comps probably.
Look, here's the thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go on a limb and say that Steve's going to win that trade.
Right. And here's the thing, and I'm sure it works.
Right.
Damn, dude.
He just like snap right.
Damn. Steve's coming in hot.
I just got another notification as we're sitting here. Trade partner has expressed interest in your cards. Let's go see what they are interested in.
Listen, Dustin doesn't give away these name drops for free. You gotta cut back on adding companies in here.
And they are interested in the Tyler Murray BGS tie-dye that I just showed you guys.
The
Veriswap notification.
Well, there you go.
You can't say the V word anymore. You just have to say you got a notification.
Yeah, the check started coming, or they stopped coming. So we got to slow down on that, Steve. Ryan McClanahan, what's going on, man? Hope that everything is going good. You hurt your. I hope your leg is feeling better.
Who, me? Yeah, it's doing better. It's not 100% yet.
Oh,
if he's talking about me.
I was talking to Ryan, but yeah, Steve, how's your leg doing?
Oh, well, yeah, it's getting better. It's not 100%, but it's way better. Like anything was better.
Baker stuff heating back up like it's 2020 all over again, guys. 2020, 2021.
I think Baker is a solid play. The only thing that worries me about Baker is his age. He was kind of old coming into the draft. Not old, but old in comparison. to the other quarterbacks in that draft.
Yeah. Well, he was the number 1 overall pick back. Yeah. I mean, back in those days, he was still kind of early on, and the excitement, he was supposed to be the savior in Cleveland.
He had a great year with the Bucs this past year, and a lot of it went under the radar. I mean, he was fantasy relevant. So it was like, and they were in the playoffs, weren't they? Didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they were good. They made a little playoff run with Baker. And I bet you nobody called that in the beginning of the year. Well, I'm sure there were some people that had some faith and had some hope for him. But I mean, to make it where they did was a little bit surprising to most.
Vintage card collector. He's a couple of years older than Goff. I mean, he's not that old. He's not as old as Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr. He's right in between Cousins and Jared Goff, and Jared Goff's seen a resurgence. So I hear you, though. I think the too old part is just he's been in the league for 10, 11 years, and he hasn't done anything in the postseason. So absolutely. But that's part of the reason why his stuff is really cheap. I mean, it just is. And he plays on my team, so it's just kind of part of the fun. What are your thoughts on what they did to the Pro Bowl, the whole flag? I don't even watch it, so I have no idea. Could there be value
really
Pro Bowl game used memorabilia? Yeah, I don't. I know they're doing like flag football and challenges and stuff. I don't know. Rob, are you going to shell out for the Manny Ramirez TriStar experience?
I don't know yet. I haven't seen them put up pricing or what they're offering.
Kyler may draw interest if Arizona could get Marvin. Yeah, exactly. Marvin Harrison Jr. Whichever team gets Marvin Harrison Jr., that team's quarterback is probably going to see a little bit of buzz.
I'm ready for the Marvin Harrison Jr. experience.
Yeah, you got that. God, I've been trying to buy his autos, and they're more expensive than the quarterbacks. They're so expensive.
Out of 10.
Yeah, that's nice. Do you have any of his autographs?
No. Just the only reason I have that is because that pack pulled it. Influencer box. Hashtag loaded.
Josh Rosen cards. He's the real sleeper. He's sleeping all right.
12 Rosen.
12 hours a day.
Yeah.
All the playoffs in the 9-8 record. Yeah, the Saints were 9-8 too, but of course they didn't make it. Sanders and Ewers, the Penn State quarterback, Big Papa. I can't recall his name right this second, but the Penn State quarterback. I've been looking at different mocks, and he is estimated top 10. But who knows? Obviously, there's a few QBs. Who's the other guy? Georgia's QB. Beck, I think is his name. Picked up some Becks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Steve, got any Ruiz left? I've got a feeling the Ruiz are gone.
Yeah, they got sold when he got traded to the Lakers.
Rumors about Baker to Raiders or New England have started swirling. Yeah, I guess the thing, it's not a done deal that he stays in Tampa. I just assume Tampa is going to re-sign him, but if he's asking for huge money, I mean, I guess he could bounce out of there if they don't want to sign him for huge. I assume he's going to at least demand a Derek Carr contract. I think Carr makes like 30 or something. So, and what did Baker make last year? Like 11 or 12 million bucks or something like that with incentives. I mean, he's going to command pretty decent money. Malik Neighbors. Yep. Steve, I owe you an apology. Brock Purdy is average at best. The guy has no deep ball ability, has no chance of ever putting the team on the back. Game manager at best. I'm kind of like yawn. I'm a yawn. I'm a yawn about the Brock Purdy hate at this point. If he won the Super Bowl, everyone would say, that he's not. Like after every game, you either go back or forth, whatever.
But he didn't though.
It's a Super Bowl, Steve. Like Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl.
I know.
I didn't mean to cut you, but I mean,
no, but I'm just saying he missed a wide open touchdown pass to Deebo Samuel. The guy had 4 steps on his guy, overthrew him in the back of the end zone. Like that's a throw that a big time quarterback makes. That's a throw Dan Marino makes. He was just never in that situation. That's a throw Patrick Mahomes makes. That's why the Chiefs won. I mean, I'm going to say Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. I'm not going to say I'm not sitting here saying Brock Purdy's a bad quarterback. Okay. I'm not going to say that. What I am going to say, what separates somebody from being good and somebody from being great. And this is my argument against Tua, against my own favorite team's quarterback, is that they can be good in a system and they can be good when the game is in their favor. But once you make them one-dimensional, or you tell them that, hey, it's time to put the team on your back and make a play and win the game, they're not able to do it.
Yeah, but here's
That's
my
what
issue.
separates the good from the great.
When you say game manager, I think about Trent Dilfer. Yeah, I think about like Trent Dilfer is a game manager. The Ravens like the defense won the title. You just manage the game.
Right. A game manager is somebody who goes out there, don't make a mistake, basically.
And I mean, hell, when Peyton Manning won his last Super Bowl with the Broncos, he was a game manager at that point. His defense was managing the game. I mean, he wasn't.
But again, we're talking about a guy in the last year of his career, after neck surgeries and 5 MVPs.
Okay, well, that's just one example. But Trent Dilfer's a game manager. Brock Purdy, to me, he was better than a game manager. I think you're kind of like, I think he's above average.
I'm not calling him a game manager, though.
No, I'm talking about here. Game. This is this is always a critique on him. Oh, he's got all these weapons. He's just a game manager. I disagree, because I think that he's above a game manager. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes elite, but I don't think that he's a game manager. I think he's better than that, and he just doesn't. He doesn't get credit when he loses. The guy hadn't lost a regular season game in like 12 weeks or something.
Right.
And then they went on a skid. I don't know. I just think that it's like
they went on a preseason skid, though, when some of their position players were hurt. And the way that I look at it, and again, I think Purdy is a solid quarterback. I'm going to say he's above a game manager. But when you looked at the rosters that those teams had on the field for the Super Bowl, if you look at Kelsey, who everybody says is Mahomes' #1 target, and you look at Kittle, that's kind of a wash. Maybe you give it a little bit to Kelsey, but Kelsey's aged and been hurt. Then you look at the receivers on the outside. Samuel and Ayuk and even Jennings are probably better than the #1 than Rice for the Chiefs. And then you look at their running backs. Pacheco is not Christian McCaffrey. Best offensive line in San Francisco. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they have like the highest paid defensive salary. The difference in those two teams was one of them had Brock Purdy and one of them had Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but Patrick Mahomes didn't do it really much of anything for 3 quarters. Then he
did it when it needed to be done. That's my point.
Yeah, but I mean, most
quarterbacks who start off bad, they have a downward spiral and they just get worse.
If the Chiefs muff a punt at the 15, we'll never know, because they
fumbled a ball inside the 10. Pacheco put one on the ground going in for a touchdown.
Did they score?
No, San Francisco picked it up. Chiefs didn't score. Either way you look at it. Rather, the 49ers got it back and punted.
But that's another thing. Did the 49ers get a touchdown off of that drive?
I don't know. Probably not. But again, you could say that was another missed opportunity by Brock Purdy in the offense.
Wait, I thought that the Chiefs recovered that when Pacheco put it on the ground.
No.
I thought it bounced right into the other guy's hands.
Mm-mm.
I think it's something else. Hold on, I have to look it up.
That's the play that Kelsey got mad on and went over and grabbed Andy Reid because Kelsey wasn't in the game and Pacheco fumbled.
Chat, what happened there? Steve's lying. Either way, we can. I mean, everybody on the planet knows that Brock Purdy is not Pat Mahomes, so we get it. But Pat Mahomes looked pretty pedestrian for 3 quarters until finally things started to kind of roll. But you're right, though, in the sense that Brock Purdy and the Niners had 3 3-and-outs in the second half. You are not going to win the Super Bowl with 3. I think they had 3 straight 3-and-outs, and then they had a muff punt. I mean, it's not going to happen.
Both offenses and both quarterbacks looked pedestrian. You can say that, or you can say the defenses looked great. You could say it was a combination of both, because both defenses looked great. Both offenses struggled. But in crunch time, when a play needed to be made, 4th and 1, Patrick Mahomes run play option for a first down, gets him downfield, hits Kelsey to inside the 5, finds Markel Hardman for a touchdown. I mean, that's when you make your paycheck. That's when you write your legacy. Tua is a great quarterback for 3 quarters. I can say that as a Dolphins fan. He is non-existent in the 4th quarter. And when you look at his stat sheets, he led the league in passing. He was like 5th in percentage, or 5th in QBR, like 3rd in percentage. He's up there in air yards, so it's not like he's dinking and dunking. But the difference between him and being a great quarterback is he can't put the team on his shoulders when he needs to win a game.
Yeah.
So even throw Brock Purdy's name out the window. I'm just talking in general about quarterbacks. Tom Brady was like that as well. When he needed to get
Tom
it
Brady
done.
was clutch. Tom Brady, he was clutch. And Pat Mahomes is clutch too. But I'll stick to the fact that the Chiefs defense won this year's Super Bowl. Now, in previous years, you could say Reed and Mahomes and their genius and this and that and whatever. But this year, that Chiefs defense was incredible. That's really what it was.
The crazy thing about the Chiefs is that this was the year that they were kind of written off. Their offense did struggle all year. If you drafted Patrick Mahomes as the number one fantasy quarterback, he was considered a bust. You know, it was probably his worst statistical output. They struggled. Kelsey was hurt. It took them a while to get their running game going, but their defense was amazing all year. And then they're not supposed to beat the Ravens. They're probably not supposed to beat the Bills in most people's minds, but they go on the road and they beat both of those teams. And then they win the Super Bowl. Like, now, maybe the NFL's rigged. I've said that in the past. Or the spotlight shines brighter on big players when it's time, you know, when it's important.
Yep.
And the MVP of the league, Lamar Jackson, right? Did he win MVP? I'm not sure. I haven't checked in on those awards because when the Super Bowl comes around, it's really like obsolete who won MVP if they're not playing in the Super Bowl. And he was not clutch in the playoffs.
I'll just never understand how these teams just decided they were going to throw the ball, against the Chiefs secondary, whether we're talking about the Ravens or the 49ers, to just, I mean, like, these teams can run. They're the best running teams in the NFL, and they decided they were going to throw on the Chiefs secondary. It's kind of just like mind-boggling. It's pretty mind-boggling.
I mean, I hope Brock Purdy progresses and becomes a really good, like I said, he is a good quarterback. I didn't say he was a bad quarterback. You know, he's young. This is his first time because he was hurt last year in the playoffs. He was in the Super Bowl this year. This is his second season. You know, he was in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, that's nothing to shake whatever at. That's a great season for somebody in their second year. That was Mr. Irrelevant. And maybe he builds on it and maybe he does become better.
How many Super Bowls, Mahomes? Let's everyone around the table. How many? Over, under for 5. I'm gonna say that Mahomes gets 6. I think he's gonna end up with 6 Super Bowl victories.
Is he at 3 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. It's like they're making it look somewhat easy, but like it's so hard to win just one, let alone back to back.
And it can turn too in a second. Like
it can turn. Like what happens?
Yeah, all it takes is one wrong tackle, and the next thing you know, you're wrong. Like
Kelsey's probably not long from retirement. Andy Reid's might not be long from retirement. Can they keep that defense together? Because ultimately, that's who won for them this year. Like we said, Patrick Mahomes is there, but what you have invested in him, how much can you put out to build around him?
Well, and this was the year that he got paid the big bucks. This was so now that'll start having a downstream effect.
I mean, Pacheco and Rashee Rice, they look like great young up and coming players. Eventually, they're going to need contracts, right? Yeah. So, I mean, every NFL team has the same problem with cap and keeping their stars and things like that. But you have to pay the most important. They got Mahomes locked up. So, I mean, I didn't think they were going to win it this year. Like I said, this was the year that everybody kind of thought wasn't the Chiefs' year. They kind of played their worst football in the last 5 or 6 seasons and still won a Super Bowl.
Well, you could argue that their defense was. I think their defense was better this year than going back to last year, going back to years.
Oh yeah, clearly. But I mean, they still. Yeah, I mean, they played their worst offensive football.
Yes,
I phrased that
absolutely.
Wrong. Yeah, they played their worst offensive football, but still won. And I mean, we're looking at Mahomes becoming a starter in 2018. So we're looking at 6 seasons under his belt, and that's 4 Super Bowl appearances. That's 6 AFC championships. So 4 out of those 6 AFC championships, he made it to the Super Bowl, and 3 out of those 4 times that he made it to the Super Bowl, he won. He lost to Tom Brady and the Bucs. I mean, if he wins that one, then we're definitely talking about, oh my goodness, he's rewriting everything. But 3 more over the rest of his career could be doable, but I don't know if they're actually going to come quickly. Not as quickly as their success they're having now. Eventually, they're going to go through some growing pains there in Kansas City, whether it's change of coach or loss of players, a big injury. They've kind of avoided Mahomes, not trying to jinx him or anything. He's had small injuries, but he's avoided the big one. he hasn't taken the injuries that like a Joe Burrow has taken.
And he takes hits.
Just like at the beginning of his career. Yeah. So, and he's going to age. He's going to get a little bit older. I mean, that all happens with everybody. So, it's hard to say. I mean, under 5 is tough. You would have to put this at 5.5, meaning that you think he's going to win 6 or 5. Because saying under 5 means it has to be 4, but I might think that he will win 5.
Mm-hmm. I think 5 feels like
5 feels about right to me. I think 6 is a lot, and I think 4 is not enough. That's why Vegas gives you the half-point odds, so you have to go either way with it.
I just think that, I agree. I think the league is too talented. I think eventually the luck runs out a little bit. I'm not saying it's all luck, but look, I mean, in football, you've got to the ball's got to bounce your way some, and you got to catch some breaks. Like it just doesn't last forever. We've seen it over and over and over again. So but we'll see. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's football in general. Lots of teams win any game because the other team loses it, makes a mistake. Just any given Sunday. Looking to move. I don't have any advice as far as auction houses go between PWCC or Golden. Matt Olson, BGS 95 Bowman First Orange. Neo, this is a baseball person. Do you have any thoughts on a baseball?
I would probably generally lean PWCC over Golden.
Shots fired.
Pretty much anything.
Whoa!
I talked about this actually in a video that's uploading tomorrow. So I don't know the baseball market, but if you were to tell me the value of that card, the market, if there's a comp out there that's similar, something similar, I would be able to answer this. So Nia, do you know the value of this card?
I don't. Not that niche of
right.
Out of 25.
Know, yeah. So if I knew somewhat the value of your card, then I could actually maybe give you some insight on which.
It's a big card. I just don't know how big.
Okay. I can tell you from PWCC experience, and I have 0 experience with Golden. 0. So typically that's a place for high-end items. And stuff that's mid-tier, lower to mid-tier, doesn't get the eyeballs on it that it actually would on an eBay. People go to eBay for mid-range cards, not necessarily the biggest of the biggest type cards. Premier type cards, PWCC Premier Auction. So I find a lot of deals on PWCC when people tend to put their cards that are between $200 and $500 over there because a lot of people don't go over there to look for that kind of stuff. The people going to PWCCs are going over there to look for high, big ticket items. So if it's not a high, big ticket item that you think would draw a premier auction, you're probably going to be better off actually going to eBay, to be honest, because I find all kinds of undervalued cards on PWCC because they fall through the cracks over there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Steve at all there. That might be better off just to go with like a Probstein or something, or a DC Sports or MC Sports, or one of those other bigger consigners. Mm-hmm. I mean, plenty of massive cards sell on eBay all the time.
Let's see.
Sorry, I'm losing auctions on eBay, guys. Give me a second.
Oh no, not that. Hey, what are you bidding on?
I just lost
auctions ending at 10
on Carson Beck.
Oh, Beck, I'm a loser, baby.
I'm talking about 2024 draft. I'm already working on 2025. All right.
I'm looking at this Tom Brady. I'm looking at this Patrick Mahomes. This Tom Brady here.
Yeah, good point. 49ers just did not convert when they had to. The defense was playing lights out. The 49ers offense just could not get over the hump. They couldn't score. And that was it.
I mean, their first touchdown was on a trick play.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe if they had rolled Sam Darnold out there, it would have been. I'd have been like Scrooge McDuck and backstroking through my Sam Darnold cards.
I just don't look. I know I'm not an NFL coach, but I would have just gone to like 1992 Dallas Cowboys. Like, we're going to feed Emmitt Smith 30 times this game with McCaffrey, and even the backup running back was good. He was fast as hell. I mean, I would have ran the ball 40 times last night or whatever the other night, and keep Mahomes off the damn field. Run it for 4, then run it for 2, then run it for 6, and just do that. Like, that's literally all the Ravens and the 49ers had to do, or the 49ers had to do. You have all these creative motion offenses, just run them different ways. Make it so they don't know which way you're running. Like, no. Let's throw against the best secondary in the NFL. Let's do that. Stupid. All right, mini rant over.
So Jordan down here said if the dude didn't miss the kick, the Niners win. Is that the extra point?
Yeah, but it just means that the Mahomes would have gone for it. They would have just gone for it. So,
but the thing is that extra point wasn't a miss; it was a block. So was that a bad play by the kicker, or is that a good play by the defense?
It was a pretty low kick.
Low
for
kick.
An extra point. It was a little bit of both.
Man, you could see the trajectory that close up to the line of scrimmage. Like,
I mean, they showed the replay 75,000 times.
Yeah, but I feel like you don't even have time to see the angle up that close. The ball doesn't have time to lift. I don't know. Maybe right. Could be a low kick.
Chat agrees. They're already saying low kick.
Chat agrees. They're 49ers fans. It's all right.
Brock Purdy wasn't good enough, but you know what? He shouldn't have had to be. That's the problem. Shouldn't have had to be. He should have thrown the ball. He should have thrown the ball 12 times Sunday night. 15 times. That's it.
You could tell Dustin had all his money on Niners -1.5.
No, I don't. Maybe I should get into sports betting, but no, I didn't have any money on it. But you just watch the game and you're just like, we're just going to throw the ball again, I guess. We're just going to keep throwing into the secondary. It's just amazing.
Don't get into sports betting. Just buy in the breaks.
Yeah. I feel like I'm sports betting anyway, buying Bowman U quarterbacks. I mean, I'm already kind of sports betting enough. All right. Yeah. The thing though is that these guys, it's like, Dan Campbell gets ripped because he goes for it on 4th down. If he makes it, he's the Messiah. He's the next coming. He's the best coach in the NFL. Sean Payton in our 2009 Super Bowl did an onside kick to start off the second half. If we don't get it and Manning just rolls down the field and scores and we lose by 3 touchdowns, Sean Payton's the worst coach on the planet. It's just the way that it goes. Mott's can't get over the game, and I feel you, man. I feel you. Mahomes' pick was the worst pass of the game. Yeah. You could just tell, though, Mahomes has been there before. He did what he needed to do at the end of the game. He didn't have a great game, but he just did what he had to do at the end. He had 2 very good drives at the end of the game that made the difference. And Purdy just couldn't get over the hump. But again, Shanahan should have ran the ball more. It should not have come down to Brock Purdy throwing passes. Should not have come down to that. I'll say it again. Holmes tweeted about it. Yeah.
I think we're pretty far behind.
For sure.
9:43. I'm only 13 minutes behind.
So what else? Let's shift some gears. We talked about the Super Bowl for a while. Are we still blowing off Super Bowl steam over here?
Yeah. Do we have anything that's not Super Bowl related? I'm trying to get through the chat here. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Bob's big boy. Like someone agrees. He didn't get enough touches. Yeah, he had a fumble, but so what? I mean, you got to keep on feeding him.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar won MVP. Neo fell asleep but woke back up. Casey reminds me of oh God, I don't barf. All the shenanigans around. Okay, here we go. This is not Super Bowl related. With all the shenanigans around card grading, the low wages paid, and how critical these folks are on their hobby, what do you think about a hypothetical professional card grader association? I hate it. U.S. Sports Cards. I hate it because you know what? It's going to be run by humans that I'm probably going to be annoyed with. This is like the whole labor union thing or whatever. It's just, it sounds like a great idea and it's probably not going to be better. So my problem is who's going to run that? Who's going to run the Card Graders Association? I don't know. A bunch of dudes that probably are going to annoy everybody. And then we'll be complaining about the Card Graders Association.
Yeah.
What do you think, Steve?
It's just always tough to talk about grading because it's a necessary evil.
It is.
It's like
good and bad.
Yeah, if you're trying to, especially if you're trying to make money in the hobby, one of the best ways is to get cards graded. But it's not even that grading's so inconsistent and so hard to trust that sometimes you're scared to get your cards graded because you're like, man, they're not going to grade this fairly, or they may undergrade, overgrade, second opinions, third opinions, snap it, resend it, get a different grade. I mean, it's like, and right now I'm buying a lot of raw cards. I'm building up a nice PSA submission. And I also have to strategically place cards in there for a reason and leave certain cards out for a reason, because I feel like anything that I can do to not necessarily confuse somebody new to grading, but anything I can do to not give them any insights to say something that might be a flaw on one of my cards. So say, for instance, I have two cards that are exactly the same card, the exact same raw card.
Neo, you okay?
Yeah, my power flashed for a second.
Right. And the centering.
I've seen this movie, the Scream movie. Go ahead, Steve.
And the centering on the, say, for instance, the centering on the two of them are different. I don't want to send both of those cards in the same order. Because now the grader, if the same grader gets those two cards, they can look at them and compare the two and be like, well, this one's off-centered. This one isn't. If I send them separately, they might look at both of them and be like, okay, this has good centering and this one centering is good enough. You know what I mean? So that's one thing.
That's what it is, yeah.
Also, if you're sending in, you may want to throw one or two cards in there that have a defect that you think are definite 9s, maybe 8s, but they're definitely not going to 10, because no grader is going to give you 100% gem rate. Even if you send 10 gem mint cards in, it's just the nature of the beast and the psyche. They're more than likely, they're not going to gem all 10 of your cards. It's going to look like they're not meeting a quota or something. So throw some cards in there that are going to get you an 8 or a 9, but not cost you a lot of money.
I always get a couple 6s randomly.
Right. You're going to get one or two bad grades in your order regardless for some reason. And so throw cards in there that are actually going to deserve it. Don't throw in a card that you are 100% positive is a 9 and 80% positive that it could be a 10, but it's not going to be any worse than a 9. Don't throw that in there and then have that one be the one that they give the 6 or 7 to. So that might cost you a grading fee, but it will help balance out the consistency of your order. I know people might say that this sounds crazy, but that's the craziness of it right now.
Only there was some sort of automated like grading.
Yeah, Neo, you're a big fan of automated grading from what I've heard. Just complete silence over there. All right.
We got the Magneto helmet on standby over there.
We're on to Cincinnati. All right. Man, there was a lot of people fired up about the Super Bowl here.
They're doing Ham says Topps is doing a launch party at 12 p.m. tonight.
Oh, are they? That's pretty cool.
I don't know. You want to segue that into Neo? We have time to do that?
Yeah, Neo, do you want to do the
we can talk and break at the same time.
You're gonna do a Topps party at your house?
We can, if you guys want. Yeah, you can just put me on the big screen, and then you guys can still
tell them what you have, Neo. Tell chat what you have going on and see what's up. So
came in a little early. We don't gotta wait for midnight here.
How do I do this? How do I make
that's definitely not the face we want up the coast.
You seriously don't know how to work StreamYard?
Whoa, there we go. Who's that? Rise Acuna.
I'm just gonna keep clicking buttons.
Special guest Ronald Acuna on the show tonight.
Is this it? No.
We're back to normal.
Oh my goodness.
How do I put it on you? How do I
traffic control?
All
right, you're there.
Oh my goodness.
There we go.
No, you can put it so you two are off.
You can put it so that you and I are off to the side.
Oh, there we go.
Hey. He did it, folks.
He did it.
Well, I gotta swing my camera.
I'm doing the clutch, man. Brock Purdy of the live stream.
The lights are flickering over there.
No, I did that on purpose that time. I gotta swing my camera around.
There's a guy with a knife behind you, though.
He's fine.
So Neo got his.
That's Tag.
So Neo's got his Tops box in a night before the release. So is that influencer perks there that you're keeping secret from everybody, or
No, that happens to be that the Fanatics distribution facility is in Ohio,
okay.
so I get my shit like the same day.
Okay, that's what we'll leave it at.
Yeah.
You know,
so I got a hobby box and I got a jumbo box. I'm just going to open up the hobby box.
Look, I bought 2 cards off eBay this week because this relates to your distribution center being near you. And they came out of the eBay vault, which is located in Newcastle, Delaware, and I live in Delaware, so that's about an hour to an hour and a half away. And they have left the vault in eBay vault. They've gone to Pennsylvania. Now they're in Tennessee, and then they're supposed to arrive to my house tomorrow. I'm like, why didn't somebody just drive them on down to where I live, or let me come pick them up, or just ship them straight? Like, I guess the way FedEx works, that also makes me nervous. I guess eBay vault ships through FedEx, so they're hitting multiple destinations
FedEx
before getting to my house, which is kind of
sometimes.
crazy. I want the 6-pack down. That's 5 packs in that hand. On the right hand side.
Of this one?
Yeah.
So you want the 6?
Oh man, that's the butter roll right there.
This one?
That's the one.
All right.
All right.
So
What are we
gonna
going
be calling me? You're gonna be calling me Papa Breaks after this.
Mostly.
Wait, what are we
So
looking
we're
for?
not guaranteed an auto out of this. It's pretty much you're just hunting for like SPs and stuff.
What players?
Ellie and Jason Dominguez.
Okay.
Oh man, it looked like nothing, man. I take that back. I want a different pack. I want a refund.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. Because I don't know who Kyle Finnegan is.
I don't think anybody does. So these do look really good in hand. I'm not gonna lie. I do really like the design this year.
So is there auto hits and stuff in the box?
This one's not guaranteed auto. Oh, you got a home run challenge.
Is that a game?
Yeah, you get to pick a game, and then if they hit a home run in it, you get like a special card or something.
Oh wow.
You guys can talk about whatever. Why? If something spicy comes up, I'll give it a call out.
All right.
So yeah, I've been wanting to bust some wax actually, but I would have to order it as well. I'm thinking I'll bust a box of wax when I get to Atlanta in May.
Look at how much taller Ohtani is over Mookie Betts. Holy shit.
Right. Because if I can bust a box of wax at Cards HQ when I'm in Atlanta, not for the Cards HQ thing, but if the big influencers get the hits, then that's where I want to buy my products.
Well, Mama Breaks got a Star Wars box there and got like a dual auto or something, or triples.
Yeah.
Maybe we should open a box there, see what happens.
I mean, if I were smart and I was somebody that wanted to break and I thought that there was a certain person that was getting all the hits, I'm not saying that somebody's not. I'm just saying if I actually really legitimately thought that, I would break with that person. Wouldn't that just make sense? If I was confident in it.
Yeah, I like the design of these. I like
They do look really nice. They look really, really nice.
The retro look. Also, Ian, I totally feel you. This is how I felt when the Rams, the famous no call against the Saints in 2018 or 19 or whatever it was, where they blasted our receiver and they didn't throw a flag on it and we lost the game.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then the Rams just like laid an egg against I think it was the Patriots Super Bowl. That's exactly what I was feeling too. I was like, wow, we would have definitely put up more of a fight than the stupid Rams that year. But what can you do?
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Some of the photography on this is really good too.
So have you gotten any new cards for Lynx lately?
Any what?
Not for Lynx, no.
How was his birthday?
Oh,
it was really good. He got his favorite thing that he got. He's big into football now, but our aunt got him like a play, like the wristband where you can write plays on it. So he like flips through. I can send you a video actually, Steve. It's funny. He's got like 5 plays written down that he runs through on his arm when we're out throwing. Yeah, it was really good. He gets fixated on stuff. So he's moved on from Pokemon. Now he's just like a diehard football person. It's crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah, from what I understand, he's a Tyreek Hill fan. So he does actually have
well, he thinks the Dolphins are the best team in the league because they've got because they've got I know I've been trying. I'm like, you're getting it, but you're a little off there. You're a little bit off. but he thinks because they've got Tyreek and Waddle that they're like, and Mostert, they've got the fastest guys in the NFL.
They're exciting.
Best. Yeah.
Too bad we have a boring quarterback.
Yeah, it's just the quarterback. He's not terrible, but he's just not,
Yeah,
in it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He doesn't. I don't know. There's just something missing when I watch Tua play. It's fire. That's what it is. I don't see any fire or any drive or like passion.
Yeah, I'm with you. He's too calm.
Like, I'm used to Dan Marino going up and grabbing a wide receiver's face mask when they run the wrong route and getting in their face and being like, you need to, and then Tua throws and somebody breaks the wrong route or not, he just is like, my bad, and kind of like walks off the field. Like he doesn't like.
I legit thought this was the same card twice in this pack.
Who's that? That's the Tom Brady and the Photoshop dude.
That is the Photoshop dude.
What was the guy's name from the Expos?
Andrew and Johnny. They could have ran the other. They had two running backs. They had more than one running back, and the other running back was great too. He could have been great. He just spell McCaffrey. Didn't always have to be McCaffrey. And frankly, it would have come as a surprise to the defense if the other guy was getting touches. So again, they should have ran the ball 40 times between the two guys.
What was their I don't know. I haven't, and I'm not going to dive into their statistics. I'm just wondering what their first down success rate was as far as running.
Got an auto.
That's the pack I wanted.
So not guaranteed an auto. So it'll probably be Miles Mikolas. Womp womp.
Miles Mikolas.
You got to think though, when we were kids, there wasn't autos in boxes. I mean, like we weren't opening up 89 Pro Set looking for autos.
When I was a kid, and I actually still have it, it's floating around here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I hit out of Upper Deck. I hit a redemption for a Tony Gonzalez rookie auto.
What year was he a rookie?
97.
Yeah, 97.
That's cool.
I still have it. I kept it all these years. Man, we cannot hit one. No Ellie's, no Dominguez, no Evan Carters so far.
Who was the best quarterback in the 97 draft?
97 draft?
Yeah, because he said Tony Gonzalez coming in 97.
Rick Meyer.
That was 93. Rick Meyer was 93.
Oh, was it that early? 93?
Yeah, Drew Bledsoe was the first pick of 93. Rick Meyer from Notre Dame went to the Seahawks.
I remember.
Pick 3, I think.
I had all the cards.
There's an Ellie.
97. Who was it in 97? Oh, was it? No.
It wasn't quarterback heavy. There was only like one quarterback that had any kind of like mild success, I believe.
It wasn't Kurt Warner, was it?
No, he was 99 and he came out of the Canadian Football League.
We got numbered card here, red foil, I believe.
Jake Plummer.
Okay.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah, he was good.
He had some decent years. Even when he got older and he was in Denver and he had the beard, like he was the first dude out there like rocking the beard and the long hair.
Yeah, he was good.
Work Dunn was in that draft. Shout out Michael Hamm. Wasn't it 96 was Allstott for the Bucks and 97 was Dunn, Thunder and Lightning. I know my NFL drafts, man. I used to study up on that stuff. No, Michael Brunell was in the 93, and he was a late pick, like maybe 5th, 6th. He could have been as early as the 3rd, but he was drafted by the Packers and then moved to Jacksonville in the 95 expansion, I believe.
Hot take from Ricky Housewright. Stock up on Will Levis now before the Titans take over the league next season.
So are any of these base cards anything that's worth submitting to PSA?
I'll probably take a shot on Ellie Dominguez or Evan Carter for the hell of it. I don't know that it's smart, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Ham, the 93 SP foil Bledsoe card.
I do really like this design. I can't say that enough.
Yeah, I'm digging it. The retro look.
The thing that this is going to be, I mean, everyone's said it a million times, like Topps Chrome is going to look amazing in this.
Weapons was guessing Peyton Manning, but Peyton Manning was 98.
98, yeah.
Number 1 out of Tennessee. Over Ryan Leaf. Remember when that was a tough decision?
Domingos.
Who else was out of that 98 draft that was a star? Randy Moss.
Randy Moss was the big one.
Fred Taylor had some good years. He was hurt quite a bit, though, but he was solid for Jacksonville for a little bit. Remember Charlie Batch?
Do you guys ever pass on this? Bill is asking about Australian shipping as a buyer. Do you pass on it because it's $18 US tracked shipping? Do you pass on cards from Australia?
I've bought stuff, but it was like something that was super rare, and it was like the only one available, so I didn't really have a choice.
So
what it was.
A card that I bought in January wasn't coming from Australia, but it was coming from the United Kingdom, and shipping was set at like $40. That was kind of a sticking point. It was an expensive card, so in relationship to the shipping price, it wasn't too bad. You know, if I'm buying like a $100 card and the shipping is $20, I mean, that's kind of like that's like a no-go, because by the time I pay shipping, I might be trying to make $20 off that card, but I'm paying a $20 shipping charge. So if it's a higher end though, so the card I was buying was $800 and closer to a $900 card. So the $40 wasn't really a sticking point. However, the seller reached out to me and said that eBay was requiring them to list it at that shipping, and that they could relist it under US sales or whatever, and they would be able to give me the shipping for $15. I don't know if that's something that's also an option you can do. I don't know how they finagled that, but they ended up turning my $40 shipping charge into $15. And
that's a cool one.
Yeah, that really helped out.
Got it.
I like that. That's a good picture.
But to answer that question, it would just be circumstantial to the card. If you're paying as much shipping on, you know, if shipping is 50% the value of the card, it really doesn't make any kind of sense. But if it's rare, higher end, sometimes you may want to insure that stuff and things anyway, and you're going to end up paying a high shipping cost anyway.
I'm going to guess that Neo is the most knowledgeable in baseball. If we're talking about out of us three, it would be Neo, right, Steve? You're not a big
modern
person, right?
Maybe modern, maybe the last 5 years or so. I mean, I can go back with baseball on older stuff and things like that, but I just don't rip baseball. I don't typically buy baseball singles with any intention of like keeping them. Like, you know, I'll buy anything that's a good deal at the right price if I think it makes sense. It's just got to make sense. If somebody offers me a Gunnar Henderson, because I know that name, right? I know he's one of the big, or Jackson Holiday. I know he's one of the big chases, one of the big rookies that's going to come up and play for the Orioles hopefully this year. And his stuff is expensive. But if I knew that I could get one of those for a good deal and buy it, I would, because if it made sense for what my plans were with the card on the other side. But I don't typically go out kind of like chasing that stuff down. Baseball is really harder than any of the other sports when it comes to prospecting on young players, because they sit in the minors.
Right.
And, you know, if you're a first round draft pick in football, you're coming right in, you know, you're going to be a starter. And if you're a lottery pick in basketball, more than likely you're going to be a starter, or you're going to be a difference maker. If you're talented enough to be a difference maker, you're being drafted with the intentions of being a difference maker.
Are there cool inserts or anything in this, Rob?
There's short prints is what you're really looking for.
Okay.
Yes, Mott's. Your question about Veriswap. I have been messing around on the platform for about a week to 2 weeks. I do videos like every other day, which is just basically my life in the hobby. I'm showing cards that are coming in the mail. I'm showing cards that I'm buying and selling. If I'm grading cards, I'm going over cards. Nothing. If you see the title of one of my videos change throughout the entirety of the video, and I end up going on the eBay platforms, Veriswap platforms and things, and talking about those. I actually do somewhat of a mini review on Veriswap in my video that's coming out tomorrow. Not a full-fledged review, and I talked about it in my past video about what's most beneficial to me. And I'm not going to tell anybody to go over there and just use it because it's great.
All right, silver pack time. See if we can get out of here to bail this box out.
You know what I relate? This is what I say in tomorrow's video. I relate Veriswap and some of the trade offers that you get to that one guy in your fantasy football league. You know that one guy in your fantasy football league, if you guys in chat play fantasy football and you can relate to what I'm about to say, just give a thumbs up in the chat. That one guy in your league that wants to give you 5 players for your bet. They want to give you 3 bench players, your running back's handcuff, the number 1 waiver wire pick, and then their 6th best player for Christian McCaffrey. How many of you guys have that guy that wants to give you 5 $1 bills for a 10? And they say, well, 5 is better than 1, but they're giving you 5 $1 bills for a $10 bill.
Yeah. I've had that before.
So I didn't hit this in this box. This will be in my video for tomorrow. This is one of the more chased short prints. This is the team color match thing that they're doing this year.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So Spurs Cards 21, he's referencing the Justin Fields cards that I bought that's got top to bottom off centering, which in my video, I put it right up on the title. I'm aware that card is off centered. I bought a Baker Mayfield that I wasn't aware was off centered, but that Justin Fields can grade out as an 8 and I'll be fine. I'm not worried about that. I'm not buying that because it's the best looking card I've ever seen. I'm buying it because it made sense to buy it. I think it can be a strong candidate for a 9. Will it 10? It won't 10. I didn't buy it thinking that it was going to 10. But if you do have some off-centered select cards, if you are selling, hit them on Instagram. I might want to buy them.
Off-centered select cards. All right, you can put me back. You could even it back up again, Dustin. So nothing real crazy out of that box. We did get an auto, which is hard to hit. Not super hard to hit, but
woo, that off center right there.
And then the Dominguez and an Ellie. So
there's only 2 people that can relate to that fantasy football story.
I mean, I've had that happen before. The guy that always wants to trade, and it's always like,
yeah, that was Dakota and their content creator.
The best free. Okay, I just got this guy off free agency, and he had a good game, and I got a good backup quarterback. Oh, I got a handcuff that you can handcuff one of your players with, and I will give you Jordan Addison, who just had a good game as a rookie, and all you got to do is give me Christian McCaffrey. You don't ever have those. Okay, I guess my fantasy football league is different than everybody else's.
I'm caught up on chat. You know what that means?
That means nobody's watching.
I don't think you actually are, but
that means it's almost time to wrap up. We're hour 18 in. Yeah, I trade you 10 cards for 1.
Can you get a silver pack? Is that quality control update?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a silver pack, yeah.
Yeah, quality control update, though. What was the quality control look like in those cards?
On the silver pack?
Mm-hmm.
They seem fine.
No. We only get off-centered cards here on off-centered.
These are going to be tough to grade with that black top. I'll be curious to see how rough they are on them.
You know, the one thing, and again, talking about the centering on cards that I still find interesting, I've got some PSA 10 slabs in today on some select cards because select is typically off. You know, a lot of Panini stuff has just got bad quality control, but I got some cards in today and I'm looking at them and I'm like, man, these are 60-40, easily 60-40 to the naked eye. And they got PSA 10s. So again, it's like a box of chocolates when you send a PSA 10, man. You never know what you're going to get. Forrest Gump.
Bringing in Forrest Gump references.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Jesus. Well, Steve's not going to the National. He's got Forrest Gump references. What else? What else we got tonight?
Man, don't say I'm not going to the National. I want it to come to fruition if we keep saying that. I mean, I don't know.
Positive vibes. He needs positive vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just turning the lights on. I'm the guy turning the lights on. All right, pack it up. Pack it up, everybody.
Pack it up. Pack it in. Life's a garden. Dig it. Where have I heard that from? I swear I've heard that before. Lucas Factor. Lucas Factor. I'm upstairs in this is like my little movie room hangout. I just took my grading tools downstairs because I was going to start going over some cards. So I can't even tell you. I can't show you. I have like a magnifier with a really bright light on it, and I have microfiber cloths that I wipe fingerprints off with, and then I use to hold the card so I don't put more fingerprints on them.
And Steve's patented cleaning kit.
Yes, just a little bit of and shine.
Oil and vinegar.
I wipe the oil off. I wipe the oil and sweat off the top of my head and rub it in. It makes everything shiny. Look. You think your refractors are shining?
Power washes.
You should see what your refractors look like after you get some of this on them.
Steve power washes the cards and then
sends I have to wear a welding mask to look at my cards when I get done shining them up.
You're gonna end up on an AIH video. You better watch out.
That's okay. I'm not worried.
Yes. Don't forget to lick the slab. Exactly. You nailed it, Lucas. Lucas Factor, if you're on IG, I'm at Sports Card Dad. Reach out to me. If you're also buying Bowman U QBs, I'm doing that as well. We can talk about it. It's always fun to talk to like-minded people. Steve and Neo have not gotten on it yet. He's buying.
I just sold two. Maybe you bought them. I sold a Caleb Williams PSA 10 Sapphire and a Bo Nix PSA 10
did you
Sapphire.
Really?
Yeah, because I opened those boxes. I sent them out for grading.
I didn't realize you would open the boxes. I'm just buying the autos. Are they autos?
No.
Here's my very short experience with Bowman U. I was offered a Caleb Williams auto in a trade on Veriswap. And I'm like, well, I don't know much about this. Let me head over to eBay, see what these cards look like. What are they comping for? And there was so many different variations and so many different kinds. Like I was trying to find the Caleb Williams that they were offering me. And I'm like, well, it's a gold out of 50. But I went over there and I saw about 10 different golds out of 50s, all with different poses on them.
Are you talking about Bowman or Leaf?
Bowman.
Yeah, there's not that many different ones. There's a bunch of, if you count the Leaf ones, and yeah, there's a bunch of, if you count that in, then maybe, but
I'm telling you, the Bowman U, like
there's 2022 and 2020 or 2023, but how many cards does Kyler Murray have?
I felt like there was a ton of, but these aren't even their pro cards yet. They still got pro cards to come.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to hold on. Yeah, in like a year, they'll have.
I'm just saying, how many Bowman U cards does Kyler Murray have?
I don't know, but I wasn't like, it doesn't matter. It's not really relevant.
It is.
No, why?
It's just more cards of the same person, either way you look at it. They're not going to limit the print runs that whatever Panini puts out because Bowman U has product.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not going to own any of them when that comes out.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I get that. No, I get that. Yeah, there's no relevance
but there's a longer. I guess what I'm saying though, if you go back to like when Kyler Murray I remember I had some Leaf stuff of like Kyler Murray. I remember when that stuff came out, but there was such a short window of time between like that stuff, like his college uni and his pro uni. Now it's like 18 months.
Okay.
Now it's like forever.
Since we're on the topic of like print runs, if you look up downtown, a downtown of Trevor Lawrence, this is Trevor Lawrence. This is 2021. If you look up a downtown of Trevor Lawrence, there's over 360 PSA 10s in the population. That's supposed to be a rare case hit card. There's 360 in PSA 10's pop report. That's not even PSA's total pop report. That's not SGC, BGS, any other grading companies out there. But just throw that 360 number in PSA 10s. Does that scream rarity to you?
No.
When they're supposed to be? But if you go back to 2019 and you do the pop report for a Kyler Murray rookie year downtown and do the PSA 10s, there's 24. Okay. If you do Anthony Richardson or CJ Stroud from now, products that just dropped, there's going to be more than 24. So it's you can see just by pop reports, even though those cards are not serial numbered on the back, and the company's saying that they're case hits, but a case hit is relative to the amount of cases that are being produced. So when you look at pop reports and you see a card that's been out since 2019 only has 24 PSA 10s, one that came out 2 years later in 2021 has 360. Imagine where we're at now in 2023.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. Dude, you remember like 2020 Select? Remember 2020 Select came out? And that's when it completely changed. 2020 Select football completely changed everything. So anything 2020 forward, yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that downtown info. I didn't know that, but I just don't buy them. So that's why I didn't know about it.
Blade, we're not talking about Kyler Murray's talent. We're just talking about cards and relative to print runs. I mean, you do an explanation to prove a point, and it's taken completely out of context.
Blade's coming in at you. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. If football is going to prospect in the same way that baseball has done with first Bowmans, if that's a new thing that's going to continue on, just being that these guys are signing exclusive auto deals as they enter college and all the nil deals, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that's where I think you have kind of some legs on this stuff. I understand. I'm not saying like, look, I get when they get the pro uni stuff, it's obviously is going to affect this, but there's just a much longer runway of time. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Bowman U is like what you, I say that, but hell, look at Mike Trout's first Bowman cards. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there'll be.
When I'm talking about the Bowman U stuff, I was just because I hadn't delved into it at all. So the first time I looked at it, when I saw how many listings of Caleb Williams autographs there were out there, I was surprised. I was like, this is his main product, I guess. He has the Leaf stuff and things like that. But I was just like, for a Bowman U product, I was like, this kind of feels like a lot. It probably reference to what it is.
Yeah, especially they probably printed more and have more variations compared to previous, especially with like Marvin Harrison Jr. and the rest of the gang. I mean, they probably did it up this year, I would assume, compared to going back a couple of years.
And then, because I'm looking at them now, because then they also have like inserts. You have the regular 2023 auto of his with the parallels that are numbered. And then I see like the Kahuna, the Future of Football, Sapphire Selections. These are all autos. And to me, okay, there's Bowman's Best Wanted. It looks like a wanted poster. I mean, it's a cool looking insert. But to me,
the big Kahuna inserts. Have you seen those? Those are cool looking.
To me, it's just tough to narrow down. Okay, if people are going to want these, which is going to be the one that they're really going to want the most?
I guess I'm just looking at it as it's a $50 card. I can grade it for $15. What's my downside? If I'm looking at the top 5 QBs each year, and that's kind of where I'm looking at it. I'm not spending $500. I know there are some that are expensive. I'm not spending huge money on them. I'm spending $50, $75, $100 on the high end, $150 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then just getting kind of a basket of different guys. And if Bo Nix goes in the top 10 or whatever, there's speculation. Maybe he goes higher than he should. I saw a mock draft that the Giants are taking Bo Nix at 5. I feel like that would be really high, but
now
who knows?
I argue with a Giants fan at work all the time because I'm like, man, Daniel Jones, they're going to cut him. He's going to go. And they're like, no, they're locked into that contract. They'll just eat one more year of it. I'm like, well, they might eat the contract, but I don't think they're going to eat it with him on the roster because they got to get started sooner than later. But so, I mean, what do you think? Do you think they'll draft a quarterback and will they try to? Nobody's going to take Daniel Jones' contract.
Well, I just think
trade.
I think that between Penix, Bo Nix, Drake May, Caleb, I think there's going to be 5 QBs taken in the top 20 picks, even if it means that another team is moving up. Maybe it's a team that's moving up from the 20s to come into the top 20. So that's why I feel like this year, I don't think next year is that way. I don't think there's quite as many good prospects, but this year is QB heavy. That's just what I'm seeing. So
it's a good year for product with quarterbacks coming out.
And who knows if they'll be any good, but there will
I mean,
be.
when was the last time we had a draft class this heavy in quarterbacks? I guess 2020 was fairly heavy. 2018 was heavy, but a lot of those guys missed. I mean, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have been the most successful. Mayfield had a comeback. Darnold and Rosen missed. I mean, they were later guys in that draft, like Mason Rudolph. I mean, he hasn't recovered from a helmet smash over the head by Myles Garrett out there in Cleveland. Neo, Cards and Comics. But yeah, 2020. I mean, if you look at the 2020 first round draft class, and even Jalen Hurts, who I don't think was in the first round, maybe second.
Yeah, I think so.
Tua's probably the worst.
He was 5 overall. He was picked high.
Right. It was Burrow, Tua. Now Burrow's been hurt. You got to be on the field. You know, when he's been on the field, he's been good. But that being said, you got to be on the field. And what did Herbert go 6
or 7?
6 or 7. He was the quarterback and the next quarterback. I think Jordan Love went around 17, right?
Yep.
The Packers. And then I know you had Jalen Hurts there in the second round. I mean, Jordan Love looked really good. Jalen Hurts has been to a Super Bowl and looked pretty good for most of the season, then kind of fell apart. Burrow has looked good and been to a Super Bowl when he's been on the field. Herbert's looked really good, and regardless of his win-loss record. He's looked good as a quarterback. And who's the one that I missed? I mean,
I wonder too with cards, how quickly do people cut bait on guys? You know, if you look at kind of like we were just talking about Baker Mayfield, and he's kind of starting to age up. He was a 2018 rookie. It feels like yesterday a lot of these guys were rookies, but at what point does like a CJ Stroud or some of these new guys that, you know, and I'm talking about from a card perspective, I'm not talking about from like overall football winning games and all that, but I'm talking about more hype, you know, like at what point do people are like, I'm just going to move on from, you know, Burrow, he can't stay on the field or whatever. And look at how much money is in those cards. I mean, like Burrow and Allen, they've got huge money in cards.
I think people have short memories because a lot of people moved on from Jared Goff. And then what happened this year? A lot of people forget that he was a first pick of the draft in 2016. And in like 17 or 18, he took his team to the Super Bowl. Now, maybe people are going to say, well, that was just a great team. Regardless, he was in the Super Bowl at a very young age, just like Joe Burrow, first pick of the draft. But then he struggled a little bit and he was written off. And then he gets a change of scenery, a new head coach, some offensive weapons around him, and he's back in the NFC Championship game. So
I was always surprised.
And a quarterback that looked good.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they wrote him off so quickly there. I mean,
but that's what I mean. People easily forget. And a player like CJ Stroud, now they have really high expectations. I think CJ Stroud looked great. I think he has a ton of potential. But didn't they win a playoff game? They beat the Browns, right?
Who was it?
Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat the Browns in the playoffs.
So Neo's
thanks,
still
Steve.
Yeah. Well,
what I'm saying is that even if he has a really good season, if they don't get out of if they don't get out of the second round of the playoffs, that's going to be considered regression.
Yeah.
At least for the team.
CJ Stroud. A lot of pressure on him.
That's what I mean from a card standpoint. I mean, now it's only it's only going to be his second year in his career. So personally and his career wise, it's not a whole lot of pressure because he has his future. But from a card standpoint, because we overreact so heavily in the card market, his stuff is baked in as if he's going to be in the AFC Championship next year, which means anything short of that is going to be considered a letdown in the card world. If he wins round 2 of the playoffs next year and goes to the AFC Championship, that'll be a success for him because it's progression, right? But it won't be in the card world if they don't make the playoffs. Playoffs.
We were thinking the exact same thing.
So that's why it's kind of tough to go and say, hey, go pick up your CJ Stroud cards. And when we say that, we're not saying that he's not a great young talent, or at least so far, he's proved that he could be a great young talent and had a great season. That's just saying there's a lot already into those cards to where you're already paying for that potential. And if you don't live up to the potential, then, you become Jared Goff, and then you hope for a recovery a couple years later.
Derek Carr, for example.
Yeah, but we're still waiting for the recovery.
Dude, I am. Yes.
Didn't he almost win an MVP with the Raiders one year, and he got a leg injury?
Yeah, he had a couple of good years, but one in particular, yeah.
There was one year he was really good, and he got a leg injury, like one of the bottom two bones in your leg. What is that, the fibia or the tibia? One of those. Because in your arm, it's the radius and the ulna. And in your leg, it's the fibia and the tibia.
I did horrible in anatomy.
Come on, man. You got to be well-versed in a little bit of everything around here.
On that note, guys, we're an hour 36 in. I've got kids that are going to wake me up in 7 hours. So I think
I got a dog that's going to wake me up in the morning too, barking at something.
I think
7 gallons of milk on this.
My friends, tomorrow I'm going to is it Andrea Bocelli, the blind Italian singer?
Yeah, you told us about that one.
I will be.
I didn't know if you did that already.
Yeah,
you're doing that for Valentine's, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know if it was meant to be like that.
It just kind of coincidence fell on.
Yeah, I'm not a big Valentine's Day person. I mean, I expect my wife to do a lot of the work there, so she better have gotten me flowers and chocolates. I mean, you know what they say: happy husband, happy life.
Go out and get her a Series 1 hobby box.
She's so happy with her card collection that she has through me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Dwayne says great concert. Good. Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be fun. Bring your tissues. I know a lot of his songs they do break. I mean,
are you going to have a little stick with a little masquerade mask on it?
I know. I'm thinking, like, what do
or some binoculars that flip over?
What do I wear to this thing? I definitely can't just be like a slug. I need to.
I think you got to dress up.
Yeah, might need to suit up for this one.
Toga.
Pretend you're doing a Hall of Fame speech.
Wear a toga and then like a little bit, like some little bit of leaves around your.
Oh my God, Steve! I think that's where we should end it. Weapon says, "I say happy life, no wife." On that dark note,
wait, is that Bob Boozle? Did Bob Boozle change his name
to Weapons?
I haven't seen the Boozler in here tonight.
Opera man, yes. All right, guys. Yeah, I think that we ended on this on this darkness. So thank you for joining us again.
2 weeks. Video coming out tomorrow. I know you guys do. But
Steve went to Steve's gone to daily now, so now we're competing with Steve for eyeballs.
I can't compete with you guys.
All right, friends. We will see you in 2 weeks. Stay awesome. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.